Welcome everyone to another episode, to the brand new episode, the second season of Two Puerto Ricans and a Black Girl. Today's discussion is going to be questions and answers. We haven't had a moment to chat. Let's chat a little bit. I am the Dope Widow.
Hey guys, I am the Love Guru.
And I am Mimi, your lifestyler. Hey guys, how are ya?
Welcome
Hi,
back.
how are you?
Welcome back. So you said questions and answers. Let's get to know each other. So what we're going to do today is just shoot out some questions so you guys can get to know us a little better. And then just so we can get into each other's business and do something a little different for the new season coming back. Just something a little fun and, to loosen it up until we get into the season and we start, coming out with our new things that we have in store for you guys. So I guess I'll start with the question. My first question is, do you think it's rude for your partner to discuss what you do with them in the bedroom to their friends?
That's funny. That's a funny question.
Do you want to answer it?
Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna be a double standard on that.
Okay.
I think it's okay for me to discuss it with my girls, but I don't think it's okay for him to discuss it with his boys. No.
Okay. I think a lot of women think like that. Like we're like, oh, we talk with our girlfriends, we around having drinks, we hanging out, and we just that's been in the circle of sisters all the time, discussing your man and talking about what's going on and all that. But I mean, I particularly don't do it too much. But what says you, Gigi?
I say no, keep my business private. It's okay to kind of like lead, what is it, innuendo?
Yeah.
It's okay to kind of give that person that little, if they ask, you just gotta be like,
Right.
Just a little whatever. I think it's okay to do that. But to just be like, yo, no, my man is this and my man is that, that's a little bit too much, because then your girlfriend may want your man. I don't know. I don't think I want to share.
I think it depends on who the girlfriends are you around. You know what I mean?
Say that. I was gonna say,
I wouldn't get too detailed. Like I'm not talking about like, stuff like that. I can say, oh, my man's good in bed. That's okay to me.
I think that's okay to say.
I can say that, but like people really be going in, and you gotta just read the room. You gotta know who the girlfriends are you around. If you just going somewhere you really don't know this set of girls, then no. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely won't share my my sex life with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with women I don't know. Gigi is right. My mother always told me that you never tell your girlfriends about your boyfriend, because their boyfriend may not be doing those things, and then they get jealous and they're like, well, let me see if I can get her man, because I want him to do those things that she's been telling me about. So I've always kept my sex life private, but I have one person who is my person, and we discuss everything since we were little, and that's the only person that like I will talk about my sex life to.
I have 3 people who I'll do it with. And then I have other people I would feel comfortable just, if I'm around just saying, oh yeah, I like this or I like that. But I have 3 people who I would be like, I wouldn't mind disclosing stuff to them.
Wow, I just don't disclose.
To each his own.
I'm okay disclosing. I mean, like we said, I definitely won't go really into detail.
Yeah.
I won't go into depth about like, okay, he does this, he does that.
Right.
No, that's none of your business.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I definitely say my man is fire in bed. Absolutely.
We could
I
definitely.
don't think men, but you know why the double standard? Because I don't think men feel comfortable talking to other men about their woman. They don't want no other men thinking about their woman like that.
If they're a mature man, they don't want any man knowing about what they do with their woman. And when, like, if it's a group of men that they hang out with and you guys meet up for dinner, they don't want their man sitting across from their woman saying, yo, this guy told me that his girl is this. They picture that. Right. Men paint that picture in their head. We really don't. you know. But men will sit there and think and be like, oh yeah, he told me that she goes in, you know, she does. No. So yeah, if the man is mature, I don't think he would definitely share.
But I think women paint their picture in their head too. That's why you don't tell everybody, because like you said, that's why you don't say it, because they be like, oh, I want your man now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Thinking, yeah, I agree.
Right.
I agree. Well, that's a little hot topic to a hot question to kick off this new season 2.
I'm saying, I'm just trying to get in your business a little bit. Who's next?
I don't know. You want to go, Jackie, or you want me to go?
Let me see. I think I have a juicy question around here. I need to put my eyes on because a girl like me cannot see without these eyes. All right, I'll ask you this. What is one of your wildest fantasies in the bedroom?
I'm happy I'm in the witness protection program today.
She's so funny.
You gonna be in the witness protection program because you ain't gonna answer this question.
Yes, she is. The questions are for everyone. No one is excluded.
That's all right. May not be the one you want.
Okay, say it again. Say it again, sis. Say the question again.
What is your wildest fantasy in the bedroom?
That means we're going to be disclosing a lot about our. Okay, let me see.
You really don't.
Wildest fantasy. Honestly, I'm not even being approved right now. I really haven't like.
Can I go?
Of course.
All right. I always. Yeah, well, I'm gonna disclose a little bit. You know, in watching some adult movies, I have seen a swing being used. I would like to buy a swing and put it in my room, and I would love to make love on a swing. So that's one of my fantasies, and that's been a long time fantasy. So yeah, that's one of my fantasies. I've thought about it for a long time, and it's still like one of my top fantasies. I haven't done it yet, so.
Yeah. Well, big up to Candy Coated because she has that on her.
I know she does. I know she does.
You can buy one from her. That's a good. So now you're talking about positioning. Okay.
Yes.
That's
disclosing a little bit. The love guru's gonna give a little, info. You could get to know me better. Yeah, I don't christen my house. So so it's like I don't christen the kitchen and the bathroom and blah. I don't do that. So I have children, most of the time we are out or, I'm in my bedroom. So I don't have that opportunity to just go buck wild in my home or anywhere else. So that's one of the fantasies. I haven't lived it out. Like I said, it's been a long fantasy. Right. And I would love to definitely live that out. I think it would be fun.
Wow. I think it would be spicy. Yeah, it is. I like that one because that swing, I know what you're talking about, that swing. It just puts you in it seems the ideal position,
right?
Yeah, it seems like the ideal position. Okay, so maybe I'll piggyback off of you.
Okay.
I'm rolling all the way back. That would be me.
All right, so.
I'm going to be approved. I do have fantasies though, but I'm going to be approved.
Okay.
So my question is kind of along the line, like with this whole fantasy thing. I don't know, but what is the craziest or the most out of character thing you've ever done? The craziest or the most something that's out of your character that you've ever done. And it could be anything, doesn't have to be like sexually connected.
Yeah.
Mine is sexually connected because those are the only things that I do that are wild. Everything else is just norm for me.
Oh God.
Oh, I'm gonna say mine.
Go ahead.
I had sex in a movie theater.
What you?
I had never.
I know somebody that did that. Please tell me.
I had never had sex in a movie theater. I was so self-conscious about it. Like I was looking, oh my God, there's people. Oh my goodness. But no, it was really empty. There was people only sitting in the front and we were sitting in the back, like almost in the last two rows. And girl,
you had a skirt on, of course.
I did. I had a dress on.
Okay.
Girl, and it was funny because I remember the day it was a blizzard. There was a blizzard, and I took a cab. We met at the movie theater, and I had a dress on, like a sweater dress on with a long coat, and my Uggs, and yeah, it was fun. It was really adventurous. I had never, you know what? When people say the element of being caught, that hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what intensified everything. That made the sex 10 times better because it was like, oh my God, we're gonna get caught, but it was so much fun.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of the most adventurous things I've done that was out of character because I've never done that in my life.
Something that I did that was out of character. It wasn't anything sexual. Somebody who I was seeing, I don't know, we got in a big argument. I found something out about them that they, cheated and something. It was something along those lines. It was so long ago. I was like in my 20s, so it was so long ago. And I don't want to say that because then that'll give away who the person is. I broke up all the dishes in their house. Like, I broke all their dishes in their house. And when they came home, they were like, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you crazy? I was like, yes, I'm crazy. So yeah, that's totally out of my character. Like, I would never, ever even think about doing something crazy like that now. How about you, Gigi?
So I do have a fun one too. I'm gonna keep that one in mind.
Oh, why?
What?
Well, I'm the only one divulging stuff.
I'm gonna keep it all to myself.
Oh, well, all right, that's no fun.
It's fun.
No, I said mine. That was out of character for me. You said it don't have to be sexual.
A fun one that was completely out of character that people probably be like, oh, yeah. So, but I am gonna share one that's kind of just out of character. Everyone knows that I'm kind of really chill and silly and really non-confrontational. But I remember one time, I wanted to beat this girl's ass. She really got, and I was in the street like a maniac, screaming out her window, like, F you, dropping all this, come out, like a wild child.
What?
Yes, real hood. And you already know, I'm not really like that. I'm not like that. I was so mad.
I can't even see you doing that, sissy. Oh.
Me either. That's not you.
Something to me. I was so mad. I was screaming and cursing at her. Another time I saw her on the train station, I was screaming at her. I was really gonna go in. Was I really going to go in? I felt like I was gonna go in. And my friend that was with me was like, you really need to stop listening to this rap music.
Oh my God, that is so, I can't even see you doing that.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was with my dad, I made my dad drive me to her house. I was like, give me
Lord.
my ish. And my dad.
Not daddy driving you to the house.
Over there, I'm screaming and screaming. And he's just there watching it all on phone. Yeah, and then.
I got another good one. This one is so funny. So I'm not going to definitely not say this person's name because we still really good friends. I love her to pieces. We did something so horrible. So her boyfriend used to go out with this girl. And he was messing around on her, and we knew the girl was in the house. So we went to the house. He opened the door. We bust in. We took her book bag, took all her stuff out, threw it down the incinerator. Threw her book bag, everything down the incinerator. Threw her coat down the incinerator and everything. Can you imagine? Oh my God! Oh God, forgive me. It was so terrible. Oh my God, it was so terrible. Who was that person? I would never do anything like that. Like,
with Jackie and I, do you remember the time that we were in Puerto Rico and some girl was like we was young. We were probably like 12, 13.
I don't even know if I remember that.
Oh, you digging deep in
And
it.
what happened?
To weave out, and I was like, woo! It was me, you, it was Suleka. I think it was even
Yes, I remember.
maybe
I
even
remember.
Grace. I don't know.
Was it? No, I don't know if you were with me. That we were. It
We
wasn't in Puerto Rico.
It was in Arroyo. When this
Was
incident,
it not here? Wait a minute. What didn't we have an incident like that in New York in that restaurant that restaurant on in the West Side? That it was me, you, Suleka, and these girls came up to us and we beat their behinds outside.
Puerto Rico.
Gazelle.
Puerto Rico. I don't know if I
It was
remember
Puerto
that.
Rico. Why am I thinking New York?
It could have been another incident in New York.
That we were in a car and the girls were in the car and we opened the door and I was beating her in the
Oh,
car.
no, it was definitely not there. That was not.
Yeah, she took out her umbrella. She was like pounding us with the umbrella. And the girl, her friend was driving. Her friend ran over one of my friend's feet because we had the door open, pulling her out, and we were beating her.
I don't even know who you are, Gazelle.
I was like, oh my God.
Girl doing anything crazy, but I definitely took her weave. It was like, ooh.
Oh my God. The things that you do when you
I know. I mean, I would never. Oh my God! Even when we were just talking about laughing about it a couple of weeks ago, me and my girlfriend, and I was like, "Oh my God, I feel so bad. Like I would never do anything. That was so horrible. Threw the girl's coat down the incinerator."
That is a little bit horrible. Yeah, I just at least took off her weave when she was already down. I didn't pull her down. I just snatched the weave and was circling it.
Oh my God! So who else got a? Who's the next person? Jackie?
Let me see what I have over here.
I got a good one, but it ain't nothing sexual.
You know, I'm pleading the fifth on all of those.
All right. It's not really sexual. What's your most shameful, wait a minute. What did I write? Oh, what was your most shameful experience involving a man?
Shameful, meaning how shameful?
Maybe most embarrassing. Yeah, well, where you felt embarrassed, or maybe you embarrassed him.
Huh?
Do you have any?
I'm
a cornball. I don't have one. I'm most embarrassing.
I have one that's embarrassing for me now in hindsight. In the moment,
right?
It wasn't embarrassing, but just crying over a dude who
lives.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
The foolery is that. Leave me
right.
Pieces. But in that moment when your heart is broken, you're like literally begging this dude to like not leave you. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Right.
I was young though, but it's like
that. Okay, if you're gonna talk about stuff like that, then yeah, I could think about the person that and I even hate to think about this person because I'm like, ugh, I even gave energy to this person. But yeah, you know, but you're so young when it's your first love and stuff. You like, you do stupid shit like that. Like now I'm like, he's big goofball. Like, get out of here.
I'm not gonna beg you to come back. I'm gonna give you my 2 fingers, right? And I'll cry because you know I'm an emotional person. I'm gonna cry, but I'm not gonna let you see my tears. If you hurt me, you gotta go.
What's yours, Jackie?
I think I'm gonna say the same thing. Just pleading and begging.
That vulnerability, it's so hard.
Yeah. After, and I'm gonna say that, you know, in that moment, like you're desperate. You do whatever because you think that love is the love that you want. It's the perfect love. But then after you guys, like it's been that
after the healing,
that grace period, that grace time where you're healing or you're healed, and you think back and you're like, what the hell was wrong with me?
Right.
Like, I know who I am. Why was I begging him to be with me when I know who I am? Like, it makes you think back because I can think back to my daughter's father and me begging him when he was out there being a womanizer with
Right.
all types of women and making me look so stupid. And even though he was making me look stupid, had a baby behind my back, I still was like, be with me. Why her and not me? And I was trying to do
Right.
everything in my power for him to see me and be with me and choose me. And, he didn't choose me in the end.
Right.
He chose himself because he didn't even choose her. So I thank God that God was protecting me from that because he didn't even choose her. He was
Right.
choosing the both of us.
But
And he
thank
had to,
God for those experiences, right? Now we have those experiences and we know how to handle situations. But when you're young, you go through that. That's all about a part of life.
but I'm gonna disagree. I don't think it's when you're young. I think it's when you're in love, and with love comes vulnerability.
Yeah, for sure.
You put, depending on how long you've been with someone, you put in a lot of effort. You invest a lot. You open yourself up. You discuss certain secrets. Certain things that let me say your past. You share those things, so you're very vulnerable. And so when you break up with somebody, it's like, oh my God, like, why? After all this time I've invested, we built this, it it's a vulnerability thing, I think, for us
Mm-hmm.
as women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that
But I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but you know what? That's why a lot of times loves don't work out because people are not vulnerable enough. Like in love, you have to be vulnerable in order to really experience it fully. If you don't be vulnerable, then you kind of like have a wall and you holding back. You're not giving all. So that's why some relationships don't follow through all the way. When people say they're in love, they can't really give their self, so they're not fully in love because they won't be fully vulnerable. They won't commit fully to the vulnerability.
And you
I
have
don't want to change. I don't want to change the topic, but I want to ask you this,
Yeah.
to both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So then, if you're vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
like really vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
and you let those walls down and you discuss, like you give yourself, you just like give yourself to this person, and then it doesn't work out, then you put that guard up again. Like, how do you let that guard down again to become vulnerable and believe that this time it may work out? So you're going to be vulnerable with every single relationship you get into. I think it's hard.
It is hard. It's you don't expose yourself and give up that vulnerability to everybody. You have to proceed with caution, and then you have to make wise decisions. Like it's not for something for you to give yourself over to everybody, that vulnerability. But I don't think that to fully be in love, if you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you can't be fully in love and committed to the act because you're not vulnerable.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think
I was
so.
going to say that when you're in a relationship and you're committed, even though yes, the previous relationships might have been horrible, but then it's you're not giving this person that opportunity to experience what your love is like, to experience
Mm-hmm.
your love,
And
and
you can't hold somebody accountable for what the other person did.
you really can't.
Yeah,
I know it's easier said than done, but
yeah, it definitely
Yeah,
is.
you can't. And so but I just think that for some people it might happen naturally over time as you're building that
right.
foundation, and the more in love you are, that vulnerability wall,
It breaks down.
it breaks down and you start exposing your vulnerability. So
Yeah.
probably if I'm in a relationship and I'm breaking up with somebody, I'm gonna cry. I say I'm not gonna cry in front of a person, but you are gonna cry. The difference is when you're mature and you've experienced and you know that this is gonna hurt, but I'm gonna be okay later because you're already a mature individual.
Right.
You can
Mm-hmm.
cry in front of the person. You can say, why is this happening? You can shed tears. But that whole when you're younger and you're begging, like you literally are begging an individual not to leave you when you're younger because of a place of desperation. I don't think that, I'm not going to say I'm never going to be there because you just don't know, but I never want to be in that place again where someone has such a hold of my heart that I'm begging them to keep me. It's almost like I'm denouncing my self-worth, who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Who I am is defined in this individual as opposed to me defining who I am. So I never want to be in that place. But of course, when you hurt, you're going to cry in front of the person. You're going to ask why. You're going to ask, can we work it out? That's just when you're in love, those are the things you do. But you just do it a little bit more tactfully, I guess.
And I also think, just to piggyback off of that, and just move on to the next thing. I think when you're younger, you do things a little bit different because you don't have that experience. As we're older now, so we know how to handle that better. Like, we're not going to have a breakdown because we know what we need to do. We've experienced that. We know how to pull ourselves together and wipe the dust off our knees and, keep on and move through. It's when you're younger, you don't have that experience. It's like crushing because you don't know how to handle it. It's like, how do I handle, that situation? So my next question, though, is kind of like off of that. So
okay.
do you think regret is a useless emotion?
I'm gonna answer.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think it's a useless emotion. I think that we need to think about our decisions before we make them so that we do not regret certain actions.
Mm-hmm.
But there's gonna be times we're human, we make mistakes. So yeah, I think we are gonna regret certain things that we do because we may not know any better, or we think that that is the right decision in that moment, and then later on we see that, damn, I should have done the other thing, or I should have made the other decision because look at where I am now. Like, I regret not really tapping into myself and taking the time to think about which decision was the right one, because look at where I am. So I don't think it's no, I think, you know, yeah, I think, we're gonna regret things. So I don't think it's a useless emotion. I think it teaches us, actually.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was actually gonna state.
Yeah, I think it teaches us a little bit.
That without
We
regret.
can take our time.
Yeah. Yeah. And without regret, in life, you're not going to do everything perfect, right? That's life. Life is about making mistakes. It's about things that build us up as an individual. It's about what makes us the person who we are when we reach a certain age, right? In life. And so I think that it's normal for you to go through things in life and you look back and you're like, dang, I regret doing that. That's normal. I think that if you don't regret things, you're kind of thinking your life is perfect. And if you think your life is perfect, that's, for me, is a problem, because no one's life is perfect. Life is about ups and downs. So I think if you take these regrets and learn from them, right? Because I know some people say I have no regrets in life. That means every experience you welcomed it and you were okay with it. I don't think so. Maybe in hindsight, you're like, I don't regret that. But in that moment, you had some regrets. Right? So the people
in the moment, but I see when people, I pose the question because I was seeing where people say no regrets, and I was understanding what they're saying, no regrets, because if you didn't have that experience, you wouldn't be who you are now. So that's why I say no regrets. But yeah, I get both of you girls' points.
But all that makes sense. You regretted it then, but now you don't, because it makes you
who you are. Yeah, and it taught you a lesson.
It teaches you a lesson, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So my question is kind of similar, funny, we don't think the same. Do you think the past matters in a relationship?
That's going on presently?
Going on presently. Do you think that your past matters in a current relationship?
In what aspect? Or you just mean in general?
Just in general. I guess you can interpret it in the way you want to.
Okay. Do you think your past matters in your current relationship? Yeah, I think if you carry over baggage, it matters. Like, some people don't know how to let go from past relationships. So they bring, like we were just talking about, they bring stuff from past relationships over to this one and put it on this person. And this person is now being held accountable and being beat up because of shit that happened in your prior relationship where they had nothing to do with that. You're not even realizing that you're doing that. So yeah, I think in that way. But I don't know. Does your past matter? No, I really don't think it should, but it does, because you make it matter in a relationship, because you bring that, like, bag lady, you bring all your baggage over to.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, to the current relationship. But
And that probably happens with people who haven't had that time to themselves in between relationships. When you
right,
jump over, like, where's that healing time? You haven't had time to get to know who you are. You haven't gotten time to analyze a situation that caused you a breakup, what part you played, what part they played. Like, you need that time to heal, and then you're able to kind of leave that and then move forward in a
right,
relationship.
right,
So that's how I look at it. You need that time. What do you think?
yeah.
Mhm.
Do you think it matters?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that once you leave that relationship, it's the past. I don't think it should interfere with your present relationship. The only way I think that it interferes is if that current partner is exhibiting the same behavior from your past that gives you that promotes triggers
Mhm.
from the past,
Mhm.
then your past will come into your present because they're exhibiting the same behavior. But if they're not, it's a fresh relationship. Um, they're treating you differently. The relationship is the total opposite of what you just came out of or the previous relationship you came out of. No, leave it in the past and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that I don't think it should matter, but I do. I think as human beings, sometimes a lot of us, when we go into other relationships, you bring your prior relationships into, you know, your current one, and then that's when they get intertwined. That's
Mm.
why what I agree with Gigi. You need to always. I always think you always need to take. Everybody needs to take a second and breathe from a relationship.
I
You can't
agree.
just jump from, you know, you've been with somebody for 4 or 5 years, even a year. You know, take a second and say, oh, okay, what happened there? And then, you know, stop, then move on. But yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think it should matter, but sometimes it does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Jackie, you have a question? Another question?
I do. Let me see what my next question is. My next question. Um, what are you most passionate about right now?
Mm.
Self-development,
Ooh.
uh, and retirement, making sure that those two things are solidified.
I
You
like.
know, because when I self-development, I'll say, because it's a couple of things that I'm working on that I want to accomplish, and I'm, you know, trying to do that now. And retirement, because when I retire, like, I don't want to retire when I'm so old that I can't still enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that I have a nest egg where I'm comfortable to say, okay, I want to go out to eat. If I want to go out to eat every night, I can, you
Mm-hmm.
know, without any concerns or worries or anything like that. And yeah, and it would be nice to have a partner, but you know, I would let that unfold naturally.
Okay. I was going to say something along the lines, definitely passionate about business ventures that I started in this later part of my life, the latter part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really passionate about that. Want to make sure that that works because I too want to retire at a young age. I'm in my head. I've already claimed 55 because I want to enjoy my life. When you retire at 65, sometimes all the ailments take place, and by the time you're 66, you can't do anything. So I want to make sure that I can at least that God allows me to retire at a young age so that I can just enjoy my life. I can enjoy the blessings He's given me. I can enjoy the journey that got me to 55. So I can just enjoy that moment. So you just don't know what you have ahead of you. So I don't want to retire old. I know people who retire at 80 years old, still working because they have to. I don't want to do that. I want to be
Yeah,
still kind of young, dropping it, popping it, locking it, traveling, and just enjoy.
traveling for sure. Yeah, yeah, and then, you know, and that you know, 55, 60. I gave myself 60.
60 is
Um,
still good.
yeah, I'm, you know, I'm hopefully, my daughter's gonna kill me. Hopefully, you know, I have a grandbaby by then, and then I can enjoy my grandchild. You know what I'm saying? Like, so those type of things. That's what. How about you, sis?
Um, I'm passionate about my businesses that I have. That's one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I'm working really hard on. I'm passionate about the work that I do with my teens. I'm also passionate about my self love journey. That's at the top of anything. Just like self love, and building myself up, and being positive and manifesting anything positive for my life, speaking positivity into my life. And I'm passionate about love. So those are the things I'm
We all have kind of sort of the same circle of.
I'm finally coming out of the witness protection camp.
passionate.
Oh,
Oh God. I got a fun one. So if you made plans with someone in 30 minutes, 30 minutes before they canceled on you, how aggravated are you?
Tight.
you already know Jackie's answer.
Tight. Not after I got dressed,
Right.
got my situation taken care of, my child, and that takes a lot for you to get your make sure your child is set. You know, you don't always have someone to take care of your child, or depending on if you leave your child alone, how old your child is. But if I made arrangements and then you cancel 30 minutes, and then I also think being fair, depending on the reason behind it, because it could be an emergency. And so
Emergencies are, yeah.
I totally respect that. And I'm
Right.
not gonna be angry with you over an emergency, because that could happen to anyone.
Right.
But if it's a bullshit reason, yeah, you're dead. That's it. Don't even call me. I'm done with you. Don't call me for a second date. It's not happening.
Right. Emergency, of course, we all reasonable people here. Oh,
Yeah.
if some, emergency happened, you gotta totally understand. I mean, how would you be if you don't understand an emergency?
But if he says his boy just called him and said, yo,
Yeah.
let's go out for drinks or let's go have dinner, and he chooses that, stay with your boy.
Or they just flaked and like at the last minute they just didn't feel like coming, and you knew that before 30 minutes before. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least let me know earlier in the day or something, so I don't have to get myself all jizzed up and get ready and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's aggravating.
Exactly. Okay, so my question, what is the craziest thing you always wanted to do? I have one crazy thing.
The craziest thing I said mine on here. So mine's is gonna be sexual for this. And I don't know if we'll be able to do this anymore, because now the way things are, but I wanted to be a part of the Mount High Club.
Oh, you did say that. You did say that. What about you, Jackie?
I don't know. Like, I've never thought about the craziest thing.
Bungee jumping, anything like
I don't want to fly out of a plane. I do not want to bungee jump. I don't want to do any of those things. Those things don't interest me.
right.
I don't know.
What
But
about you?
I don't have an answer for that one.
Well, me, this is gonna sound so weird, but I always wanted to run like naked in the hallway of a hotel.
Oh, that's funny.
Can I make it back without anybody looking? Even like in the hallway of my apartment, like, can I make it to the garbage real quick and come back?
That is so funny. Oh my God. Now you're making me want that to be one of my, because it seems like so much fun, like to do it. Like, come on, let's go.
I would want like my partner, my spouse, or whatever be at the door. Okay, baby, go.
Right.
And waiting for me at the door.
But you know what would be so messed up if you did it and he closed the door?
Closed the door. And leave you ringing that bell.
Oh my God. I would kill them. Oh,
That would be funnier than you just running naked in the hallway.
it would be so funny.
And then your neighbor come out to throw out the garbage and be like, hey.
Oh my God, that shit would be hella funny. But I've always wanted to do that for years. For years, wanted to just run down the
That's funny.
Oh, that shit is hella funny. Michelle, do you have another one?
I do, but I don't. I wanted us to be light and giddy, but I'll ask it because I don't know if it's going to get too like deep. Do we get to choose who we love?
Ooh, I think love chooses us.
Mm.
I definitely don't think we choose who we love. I'm going to speak from experience. I've never chosen who I loved. I think love has chosen me every single time. I've never, ever. And the reason I say that is because, all right, maybe one time I've gone up to a man and said that I was interested. I initiated it. So I think in that sense, and we went for a long relationship. So I think in that sense, I chose, but love has always chosen me.
What does that look like when you say love has chosen you?
It just happens organically, not because I was interested or because I went looking.
Okay.
It found me. I didn't find it. I didn't go looking for it. It found me. I think every single time it's found me, except for that one time that I made the first move. And I'm not used to doing that, but I just felt like in that moment, that was my person, or that would have been my person. So I said, I can't let that get away. So I made the first move, but I have never made the first move ever.
And you love that person eventually?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that I'm saying the question out loud, I guess I would have to say that definitely love finds me. We find each other. Like in a couple of incidents, because I haven't been in love that many times, so we definitely found each other. Like it was like synergy. Like it was like, okay, we love each other. It was like something like that. And then a couple of other time, the other time it was just like, okay, you see this person and they pursue you, and then you start developing a relationship with them, and then as you go through all the experience and emotions and stuff, you fall in love with them. So I always think when somebody pursues you, that love found you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
What about you? What about you, Gigi?
I'm kind of like on the same page with the both of you. I've never really like pursued. I mean,
I can't hear you, sweetie.
I haven't really like pursued. I think I pursued one time, but I wasn't really like pursuing. I was kind of like just listening to the Lord. So did I really pursue, or did God bring that person? You know what I'm saying? I think I'm like
Mm.
you guys, like kind of it found me. It depends on how I navigated, how I decided to move with what was in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if I'm the one that's being pursued, I think it's finding me because I'm not
Right.
out there looking for it.
Exactly.
Um, that's why I say it found me. I've Unless I'm the one that's out there making the move, then I would say, no. I went looking for it. I was the one that was interested. But yeah, I think love found me.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does most of the time, especially for women. Now, I would have to say, like, I can't talk for men because I'm not a man, but most of the time, men are pursuers.
Yes.
So, they're the ones seeking it out. So it's the
Can I
opposite.
ask you a question,
Of
piggyback on that
course.
question?
Uh-huh.
So the age that we are right now, would you pursue love? Or would you, if you didn't have anyone, would you pursue love? Or would you just wait for love to find you? So if there was someone that you were interested in, would you go out? Or and let's say you were at a bar. You went out to a bar by yourself and you saw someone across the bar and you're like you get this feeling and you just like, because it happens sometimes, you get this feeling and you're like, oh my God, I think that could be the one. Or, oh my God, why do I feel this way? I don't even know this guy. I don't know if it happens that way because it's never happened to me. But what if that happens? Would you get up and walk over and buy him a drink? Or would you send him a drink? Like, would you pursue him? Or would you be like, nah, I'm going to wait to see if he looks at me?
I don't think
If
it's
he missed
I'm
out.
going to speak for myself. I don't think it's anything wrong, especially, with women doing that. Like, if you see somebody you're interested in and you want to go for it, go for it. For me, I think it would be awkward just because I don't feel comfortable in doing things like that. So I probably wouldn't do it. I would definitely, if I really thought this person was of interest to me, I would try to get them to notice me, or I would try to get them, catch eye contact or something with them. But I don't think that I will pursue them. And I could be missing out on
send him a drink. You wouldn't even send him a drink.
No, I know I wouldn't. And I don't. And like, let me give the disclaimer. I don't think anything is wrong with that. But I know I wouldn't do it. And I may be missing out on a great person by not doing that. But I know I wouldn't do it. Unless, if I did it, then I would be like, okay, this is totally outside of myself. I'm supposed to do this. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Gigi. I'm sorry, sweetie. I thought you were gonna say something.
Definitely.
I can't hear you.
Oh, what's going on? Do you hear me now?
I don't know.
It's like T-Mobile.
Yeah,
now. So, I have, and knows that. And it was great. I mean, sometimes you just got to go for it, especially if you have a gut feeling. I think just again going to the whole.
I just picked up what you said. I'm sorry. It was a delayed reaction. I got you.
I think that sometimes God tells you this is your person. So what are you gonna do? Not listen and miss out?
I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of things, unfortunately, that God said.
Me too, honey. But I definitely listened that time around. And
what did that look like? What did you do? Like, how did you pursue?
Go ahead. What did you do?
You sent them a drink.
You sat there for an hour with Jackie contemplating. Do I ask? What I ask? What I ask? What I ask?
You have no idea, Michelle.
Do you ask what? His name? His number? What?
Oh no, definitely not. I've never done that. Never.
How did you pursue him? What were you doing?
Well, definitely not a stranger. I've never done a stranger.
No,
an acquaintance, someone that I knew.
She felt that there was something there.
Uh-huh.
She wanted to know. She didn't dare act on it, and it took a little coaxing.
Okay,
a lot of coaxing.
Okay, we talked about this story before, and now I know what you're talking about. So, okay, all right, okay. Yeah. Next. Yeah. I was just trying to see what it looks like for when you were saying you was pursuing somebody. Was it you wanted to call them? You were sending them a drink? Like, what did the pursuit look like?
Wanting to text, wanting to call.
Okay.
Waiting, do I look desperate? What if the other on the receiving end doesn't feel that way? But honestly, God was like, okay, this is it. So
okay. So it was a phone call you was contemplating over. Got you. That's what I'm like. What was it you were trying to do?
I don't know if I would feel comfortable like, hey, sending somebody a drink. I don't know if I would feel comfortable. There's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know if I would do that. I'm really like timid that way. So it took me an hour just to hit send.
Right.
All right.
Go ahead.
You keep going in and out, girlie.
I don't know why. What's wrong? I'm in the witness protection program. My voice must be.
Voice is going out. I don't know what's happening.
Do you think that we create the reality that we live in? Do you think that we create the reality that we live in currently? We have a hand at our own reality right now.
Yes, I do. I think we have a hand at it. And I think a path is already made for us. This is my feeling. I think a path is already made for us, but we go on the wrong one a lot of time. And at some point, you got to get back on the right path. But you're going to keep going on wrong paths until you get in aligned with what the assignment is that you're supposed to be doing in life. But yeah, I think we definitely play a part. And I see those wheels turning over there, Jackie.
Because I'm thinking, I don't think I create my reality. I think I'm living the reality that was created for me. Because like Mimi said, our our story's already written. So I didn't create this reality. It was the story that God already wrote for me, the one that God already said, this is the one you're going to live. I'm just living it. I'm just living it out as he created it, because he knew every bump that I was going to face. He knew every man that I was going to meet. He knew when I was going to get married. He knew when my children were going to be born. So I did not create that. That was already created for me. I'm just living in the reality that he created for me. So I don't think I have any hand in this reality. I'm just living what he created already for me, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I think we thinking like total opposites. Oh, we thinking total opposite. But I mean, I get it. You know, why I think that we have a hand at it is because we have a free will to make decisions. So in that, and God wants us to always praise Him too. And we can't give Him praise if we're doing everything right all the time. I mean, we can. Let me take that back. You give Him praise when you're doing wrong things too. But you know, like when you get off the wrong path, like no, I don't think any lessons will be learned if everything was done right. That's why He knows we're gonna do things wrong, and He gives us free will to do those things wrong, even though the path is. That's why I'm saying you got to get back on the right path because the path is created. But you're going to go off the wrong path because you have free will, because you want to say, oh, this cologne over here smells good. Let me go see what it is going on over here when you shouldn't be there.
And that's up to you to decide when you decide to shift it over and fix that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's it for me. My questions. You ladies have any more questions?
I'm good.
I mean, we could be here all night, but no. Do you have another one?
No, I'm done.
A funny one to end, but I don't have another question.
Oh, I have a funny one to end.
Let's do it.
Would you fart in front of your man?
Yes. What are you supposed to do? Not let it out and you have your inside bust because you can't. What if you can't go to the bathroom at that moment?
Oh man. I think
you gotta try to let it slide out, like try to do one of those little quiet ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if it can't, then it is what it is.
Right.
They surely fart in front of us, and they don't feel any type of way.
No.
They laugh that shit off.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Roselle, you're not farting in front of people, right?
I know she's not. Griselle's so dainty.
I'll tell your story off air. Sorry, guys. But I think that I think it all depends on how long you've been dealing with it. If it's like sure. You like, they'll be like, y'all, this girl, hell of a foul. Like,
and sometimes that shit that you just can't help it. Like it's gonna come out.
And that's happened to me. I was like, oh damn, I hope they hear that. I'm squeaking my heels on the ground, hoping that they.
Oh Lord, I can't with you.
Did they hear that? Did they hear that?
Yeah. I think all that farting, going to the bathroom in front of them, you gotta do. I mean, like at some point you're gonna have to like.
Oh yeah, I don't mind going to the bathroom in front of them, or them going to the bathroom in front
of. But
me.
I mean, like when I say if you at that house and going to the bathroom, I mean like doing the number 2.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm okay.
Door closed.
Oh no, I'm not doing the number 2 with the door open.
Door open. We having a conversation.
Are you like,
yeah. With the number 2?
Yeah, I've been in the shower and he's been doing a number 2. I've been on the toilet doing a number 2 and he's in the shower. Like we that comfortable.
Okay, see, it's not even the comfortability factor for me with that. It's the smell factor. I don't want to smell the number 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, so the number 2, he can't be there for the number 2. Go number 1, yes, I can do number 1 with you, but number 2, no.
Yeah.
You doing number 2s in front of people?
Eventually I'm gonna have to. But
why? Why do you have to do it in front of them?
In front, Not like the door's open. I don't know if I could have the door open. Like if I'm talking to my kid or somebody, I could do that. But in front of my partner, like I don't know if I could right now. If I'm married or something, maybe. Because it's hello, we're in the same damn household. Like you may have to ask a question. But I don't know if I feel comfortable there. Give me my space. Let me handle my business fine.
It's a private thing. It's not. That's not. I'm not saying that. That's what I do. That's what
but you can do it, right?
But if I have to do it, yeah.
But
like if he's in the shower and I have to go to the bathroom, listen, I gotta go to the bathroom. It is what it is.
I agree with Jackie. If I gotta go,
okay, I agree with you on that part. But I mean, just like I'm trying to get out. I'm not having the conversation. Like I'm trying to get out.
But I've used it in the same premises. Of course, if I gotta go, I'm not gonna bust in and test them because I want to be cute.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No, I get that. But you were saying you were there talking with them and stuff. I'm like, I'm not like I'm trying to do the number 2 and get out. Like a pee and I can talk to you.
Give me a minute. Okay, well.
I'm not having a conversation with you while I'm doing the number 2. Like, shut up. Don't talk to me. Oh God. This was fun for welcome back.
Fun. So people getting a glimpse into what season 2 is going to be like. Impromptu, fun, silliness, serious things.
And then we got some other fun things in store that we're going to add to the show. So it's going to be a couple of little things.
Yeah. So we're back. Season 2.
So next time on what?
Two Puerto Ricans and a
Black Girl.
Bye, guys.
All right. So